In the dimly lit confines of his cell, the young man felt suffocated, as if he were trapped inside a small box with no air to breathe. Each day stretched out endlessly, devoid of color or purpose, of hope or meaning. Much like the monotonous walls that confined him, time became a cruel master, ticking away relentlessly, yet offering no solace or reprieve. There is no comfort here. His dreams, once vibrant and full of promise, now seemed distant echoes of a life he could no longer touch, just out of his grasp, like shadows dancing on the walls of his cell. They taunted him with memories of freedom, memories of laughing with his friends and spending time with his family, holidays. He even missed fighting with his brothers. This was a freedom he could no longer grasp. The weight of his mistakes and the corrupt, despicable actions of others pressed down on him heavier than the steel bars that separated him from the outside world. Every day blurred into the next, a never-ending cycle of rage, anger, of hopelessness and despair. The walls seemed to close in around him, shrinking the already severely limited space until it felt as though he were being crushed under their weight. His thoughts, once a sanctuary of hope and possibility, now echoed with the harsh reality of his desperate situation. In this box of torture, there was no room for redemption. There was no second chances. He was labeled terrorist, stamped with the mark of his past mistakes and the betrayal of others, condemned to a fate he couldn't accept but couldn't escape, the outside world seemingly moving on without him, indifferent to his plight, leaving him stranded in a sea of hopelessness. Does anyone care that he's innocent? That he is being destroyed? As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, and then the months into years, he felt himself fading away, a mere shadow of the vibrant young man he once was. He remembers turning 25 behind bars, celebrated with a cold bologna sandwich. He now feels like he's 45. He started to waste away, mentally and physically, but now also spiritually. Trapped inside this box of despair, he longed for nothing more than to break free, to feel the warmth of the sun on his face again, to feel the breeze in his hair, to be able to smell the ocean, to feel the soft embrace of his girl. But in the darkness of his cell, surrounded by walls that seemed to mock his very existence, bleakness reigns supreme. It is a terrible and torturous thing to rob a young man of the most vital years he can never get back. For what? Why do we do this? What purpose ultimately is served?